I'd like to welcome you to the 109th annual meeting of the JCCNS. It's so hard to believe that we are together here again after last year and having our virtual annual meeting. And I don't know about you, but I think we should just give each other, we can, a pat on the back and say l'chaim, because we are here together. And I would officially like to call the meeting to order and would like to invite Mark Weiner to come up and give us the invocation for this meeting.
Thank you, Missy. I'd like you to picture this. Some weeks ago, your incoming president said to me in a matter-of-fact way, Marty and I want you to give the invocation at the annual meeting. The rabbis are out of town, and you can do it. And my first thought may be, yeah, this is appropriate for the first gentleman, the first husband, but this may not go well. I thought, Sarah, did you and Marty forget that when I say things, it's not unusual for me to say things that are a bit cringeworthy at best, and can't you find another rabbi, on and on. And so I mustered all of this firmness, and I said to her, okay, I'll do it. So here we are. I gave the matter some further thought, and in really a serendipitous way, what came to mind are two moments from our daily prayers. Let's consider these and see what we can draw from them. The first is that apex moment near the midpoint of the service when we proclaim Shema, which means hear or listen. We sing this word emphatically, loudly, sometimes beseechingly, almost as a wake-up call to tell ourselves that to live in the ways of our supernal parent, we must first learn to hear, to know how to listen to ourselves and to each other. It kind of reminds me, and there are a lot of teachers here, it reminds me of that moment in an unruly classroom when the teacher will clap his hand on the table and say, children, you have to stop talking, you have to listen, now pay attention. Very shortly thereafter, we have a much different moment. We shift from that exuberant Shema to a much quieter, meditative tone when we chant V'ahavta, and you shall love. Not only love, but love with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. I would suggest that the closeness of those two moments, the one focusing on listening and the other focusing on loving, these are hardly arbitrary, that the author of this text wants us to realize that our capacity really to listen to each other necessarily involves and depends on our capacity to love. That when we listen to another person, b'chol levavachol, b'chol nafshachol, with all our heart, with all our soul, we not only take to heart what that person has to say to us, but also we give from our heart to him, her, or to them a full measure of our attention, care, kindness, and concern. A kind of devotional listening, if you will, which might suggest it's kind of a must-do thing if we desire to appreciate the exceptionality of each other and we're really to know the human condition. Now, it may be just over-the-top aspirational thinking to believe that people can actually do this kind of thing. And in this contrary world that we live in, we might think that, in fact, we're heading down the wrong pathway. Unless, of course, you frequent the JCCNS, the JCC, where listening in a loving kind of way seems to be happening all the time. One can sense this right away in the warm greeting you get from the folks at the front desk, the way JCC teachers are with their toddlers and preschoolers, the exchanges you hear among friends in the health club and in the exercise room, the way therapists talk to their clients in the Spalding program, the way JCC staff and JCC administration interact with all who enter the building. And on a personal note, I promise you that this is what you can expect from our incoming president, who practices this kind of listening with all with whom she comes into contact: family, friends, a total stranger on the street, or a person of high degree. Marty asked me to keep this short and sweet. I hope this did accomplish that. I would just like to conclude by wishing our incoming president, from me and from our sons and from our grandchildren, our relatives gathered here, a hearty Hatzlacha Rabbah, great and good success. I wish a Hatzlacha Rabbah as well to the returning and new JCC board members, administration, staff, and all that belong to this wonderful community. On behalf of my family, near and far, I wish you all a most healthy, happy, and restorative summer. Amen.
So, remarks from the president. This has been my third year as president of the J. And many of you know that I have been with the JCC for many years, both as a staff person and as a lay person. And it's amazing. I'm staring right at Weiss Kirstein's back windows and thinking, boy, I did this many times. And there's a part of me that feels, I hope I can keep doing it. I hope I can still be connected. I don't want to leave the J. The other part says, wait a minute, you have this wonderful person taking over for you, Sarah Weiner, who actually, I did ask Sarah at one point, would you ever consider being a president? So I guess I have both sides. I can't help but feeling nostalgia because my kids were here and they now have their grandkids, and they ran up and down that corridor and up and down those stairs, and I was kind of trying to run a preschool at the same time. So you will appreciate the kind of nostalgia that I had for that. One thing I felt that was difficult for me, I think we managed, but it was hard, was getting through the pandemic. And I'm sure people have their own stories. And I remember standing up here last year and talking to a camera. And it was the saddest thing for me to have to speak to a camera. And then I went over this morning what I said, and I was very optimistic at the end. I really wanted to believe that everything would be fine, that the door of our door, which I spoke about in the first speech that I gave, would really come true. And I guess we have seen this happening, maybe in different ways, but the center, for me, kept me going, and I think that I could do my part to make it seem as normal as it possibly could. And I remember doing with some wonderful people, Jewish Film Festival, Jewish Book Month. This is where it's all at. This got me connected, and I stayed with it, and I'm going to hopefully stay with it in the years to come. So I want to thank all of you here at the center for everything you do for us, and I want to say the door of our door again, because now we have a future. Now we can believe in something. And I want to see you all come back to the J if you haven't come back. Look at this beautiful day. Look at this beautiful view outside. It's tremendous. Let's make the J as lively as possible and bring back that strength that we have shown over the years. So I'm just going to end my remarks with that. And now I'm going to call up Betsy Brooks. Betsy, could you join me? Now I have my written speech. Okay. What can I say about Betsy? There's not enough. I mean, she has been here for me since I think your son was in preschool. That's a long time ago. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, whatever. Her skills have been tremendous for all of us here at the center. And we know that when we have a meeting or we have questions or problems, you just ring Betsy or email Betsy, and somehow if she doesn't have the answer, we can find the answers together. And that's what I have to thank Betsy for. She's been there as someone who has really helped me. As a former president, she was president in 2008, am I correct? I mean 2014, correct?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Whoa, that was too far back. And she's been with us ever since, helping us along. And I must say, Betsy is the JCC's, she's the ultimate parliamentarian, if we can say anything about her, amongst other things. She's great. She's also a detail lady. When you want a question answered, you can call Betsy, okay? As a friend, Betsy, you have always been there for me, and I mean this sincerely, because I called you at 10 o'clock at night, or 6 o'clock in the morning, or 8 o'clock in the morning, and you've always, if not that moment, have been able to help me make a decision, make things better, help me to deal with people. You are a treasure, Betsy. You're a treasure to this JCC, and I think you can't be replaced ever. Yeah. So I would like to present to you a beautiful award. See it? And may it sit proudly in your home. This is interesting, Betsy, because I had to buy another gift for you at one point.
Yes.
And we spent hours figuring it out. But please find someplace that you would like to have that show, because I think it's really beautiful. Welcome.
Well, Izzy, I thank you for those kind and thoughtful words. And I did receive a fabulous gift when I was the outgoing president, and it's a beautiful tray Izzy picked out from Western Massachusetts, and it's right on a table in my living room, and I see it every day, and actually think of Izzy and the JCC every day. But now I hope I think of the JCC just a little bit less. I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to be part of the leadership of this JCC. This has been an enlightening journey. I've learned how to move forward with strong conviction and a positive attitude. I've learned how to navigate speed bumps, make an occasional U-turn, and exercise caution when I needed to. But the best part of this ride has been being alongside so many of you that are here in the room and some who are watching from their homes today. 11 years ago, I was asked to be part of a board of directors to save the JCC from closing its doors. What a task. On the top of the agenda was to hire an executive director with experience and could hopefully help us in this dire situation. Fortunately, our path intersected with the path of Marty Schneer. And through his expert guidance, here we are today. Another goal. Next on the agenda, we had an exercise, these group exercises Karen Robinson does all the time with us, but I remember this was at least 10 years ago, and we had to reimagine what the JCC could be and how we would get there. And someone had the idea, what if the preschool was full and we had to even expand into new classrooms? Well, check that off. Success. Thank you all for your help with that. Another dream, which did become a real goal, was to have a fund. So when things happen, such as competition opening down the street or unexpected circumstances, we'd be able to have the financial resources to weather the storm. And now today, I'm so proud to know that and share with you that we have our endowment fund. We have over $4 million in actual funds and pledges as we're here today. However, I'd be remiss if I didn't say our goal is $5 million, and we can get there. And you have, I think, until the end of December. Marty is really going to be trying to reach that goal. But it was so helpful, and through the pandemic, what a relief to know if we needed to, there was a resource we could reach to be able to keep going forward. Additionally, I believe the JCC needed to collaborate with other Jewish agencies in this area. I'm proud to say that as of today, I believe the JCC has become such a fabulous team player in this area, and this all helps to make us a more welcoming and strong Jewish community. And here we are today, so grateful to be open at a meeting with people in person for the first time. This is very exciting. And to be looking forward, I look forward to being part of the membership, coming to future meetings, and watching our new and upcoming leaders pave the way forward. Thank you all for being part of this journey with me.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all here. So this wasn't part of what I wanted to say, but from the invocation on to Betsy and Izzy, what makes this place my job, my day-to-day existence, is the people I work with, in addition to my family. So when you hear the people and you see and you sense the feeling, it really makes it very special. So thank you, Betsy, Izzy, and Mark. And by the way, Mark, you were so good that I think I'm going to call you first, and then I'll see what the rabbis are doing. So today, we are thrilled to be together to recognize the contribution of several individuals to the JCC's continued strength, despite the pandemic, and notably a very challenging year. I want to acknowledge again Izzy, our outgoing president, who passes the torch. That was her last spot up here. She sat down, that was it. So that was the move. We're moving on. But think about this, Izzy's willingness to take on a third year, which she did during the pandemic. That was unusual. Most of our presidents are 2 years. To me, that was an example of true leadership and selflessness. And I guess Howie deserves a little credit for not objecting. Her fortitude and her encouragement and optimism in the face of existential issues. I don't use that word lightly. When you have to shut down your building in March of 20, you wonder whether you're ever going to open up again. And I think if I look at Izzy's legacy, that has to be at the forefront. I could not have had a more supportive ally throughout the 3 years. As Betsy was indicating, things have up and down. You hit speed bumps, you make U-turns, And Izzy was there with me every step of the way, so thank you so much, Izzy. Looking ahead, we are very fortunate to have Sarah Weiner assume the role of president. Sarah is an experienced leader, well-liked by our staff and our members who know her, respected by her fellow board members, and has served as chairperson of two of the most important JCC cultural events, Jewish Book Month and Jewish Film Festival. And of course, she's multi-talented. Those cookies on the table were made by Sarah, one of her many talents. She is an active user of the center, along with First Gentleman, her husband Mark, a parent and grandparent of children who attended our camp and preschool, and they share a long history of commitment to the JCC. I believe she is uniquely qualified to assume this position at this time. I look forward to working with her for as long as she wants. I do want to thank my staff. There are a couple of them here, in addition to our award winners. This doesn't happen without them. We switched very quickly to kind of remote work during those 3 months. We didn't skip a beat. The standing over there is Karen and Melissa, and our award winners will be here. And I'm trying to think. Tom in the back, who just came off a plane. One of the ways we survived, and those of you that don't know, is through government support. The payroll protection plan. The government was very generous to the JCC. It doesn't make it that easy to apply and go through the paperwork and get the right numbers and satisfy them. And Tom Cheatham in the back, he made that happen for us. So I just want to take a moment or two to think about the future, where we go from here. So as we move from what I would call survival mode, it is now to think about how do we take advantage of this new beginning, now that I believe our financial uncertainty, God willing, is behind us. We are first committed to stabilizing our major revenue generators. For those that don't know, that's preschool #1, even more than membership. Thank goodness preschool is coming back with a tremendous roar of over 170 children. Our day camp, which just this morning at 11 o'clock, if you want to see happy children coming to the pool to get their t-shirts and meet their staff, that's happening this morning, and we're doing quite well there. And of course, membership. As I think Izzy was urging all of you, if you're members, if I assume most of the people in this room have generously, as so many have, continued to pay dues when we were closed, when it wasn't possible to come here without vaccinations. And those of you who haven't visited the center, we're safe, come back, of course talk to your doctor, but it's very important. We have about 470 members still on freeze, but that's turning around and that's coming back. So, in addition to that, I have to look to our mission as I say, well, where do we go from here? How do we take advantage of this opportunity? So I want to quote Proverbs, a quick quote, "Without a vision, the people will perish." If you want to be great in any field, a CEO, a prime minister, even a parent, or anything in between, you have to think long term. In this regard, the late, great Rabbi Sachs stresses education. What is the implication for us considering these two ideas? We not only have to be the best at everything that we do, particularly the revenue generators, but we have to think, I believe, in a systematic way about how we partner with other local Jewish organizations. We cannot do it alone. And we should be, in that partnership, thinking about encouraging families to join synagogues, to send their children to Hillel, to work with the Lapin Foundation, sending your children to Israel. So that's an important message, I think, for us. Times have changed, and we all have to work together. What God taught Moses was that the real challenge does not lie in gaining freedom, or in our case, withstanding COVID, but it lies in sustaining our good fortune, keeping the spirit of liberty and Jewish peoplehood. We are connected in the hearts of successive generations. Our mission talks about strengthening Jewish identity. How will we measure that, and what will it take? How do we effectively help the next generation to connect with Israel? Not as easy as we once thought. From my perspective, these questions and challenges need to be at the forefront of our communal deliberations. In this relatively small Jewish community that we are, we must strive to expand our notion of what partnership and collaboration means. As Rabbi Sachs suggested, we must think long-term as we pass the torch today to new board members and new leaderships and celebrate the visionary strength that they provide. We must look at this as our overarching goal. That's our mission. That's why we're here. We strive not just to return to normal, but to forge a foundation for long-term success defined by our mission. Baruch Hashem, with God's help and with our commitment to future generations, we will prepare ourselves to surpass any of our successes in the past. My goal and the goal of the entire staff is to raise the bar, to engage more people, to keep expanding and touching as many people as possible. I thank you all for being here, and your presence and your support will help us reach that goal. I believe we've turned the corner. There still is a very bright future for the JCCNS. Again, thanks to your support. And just finally, a very big mazel tov to our award winners. These are people who have made it happen, and we appreciate them greatly. And you too can be standing up here as an award winner, and hopefully will someday. So thank you very much. It is my pleasure to bring up one of our officers, the next generation, Kate Clayman.
Good morning, everyone. First, I want to start off just to echo the sentiments. Congratulations to the award winners, to the outgoing president, to the incoming president, to all outgoing board members. Your service, your dedication, your support of the JCC is truly inspirational. And the younger generation, I've really learned, and it's been a pleasure watching and learning through your example. So congratulations. My name is Kate Clayman, and it's a privilege to welcome and install the incoming slate of the Board of Directors of the Jewish Community Center of the North Shore. After a long year, it's a pleasure to see you all, to be in person. And I want to start today by reading from our mission statement. The Jewish Community Center of the North Shore is committed to being the central gathering place for Jewish life, learning, and culture, offering experiences to drive Jewish engagement. It strives to enhance all members' social, physical, educational, and spiritual lives. The JCC is an essential resource dedicated to participating in and contributing to the welfare of the whole community. I love that last line. The JCC, as you all know, and has been said here today, was truly a pillar of strength during this difficult pandemic year. And as the mission statement reads, was successful in contributing to the welfare of the whole community. The school remained open, exercise classes streamed online and in person, support was given to those in need, the staff remained committed, resilient, and as we reopen our doors and we stand here and sit here all together, I think we must take a moment to reflect on the greatness that follows when we live and breathe our mission statement. The Board of Directors has a duty and a responsibility to lead this great organization in a positive direction in conjunction with our bylaws. By installing you as board members, you are given great responsibility of exercising diligence and wisdom in your leadership. It is truly an honor to welcome you all, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you. I'm going to ask the following persons to please stand and please hold your applause till the end, and my apologies if I mispronounce anyone's names. New board members for a 2-year term, Cindy Matloff. Here's Cindy. Natalia Rizova, Dr. Sheldon Sevenor, and Jessica Wilson. Welcome. Congratulations. Board member continuing for another 1-year term, Corey Shower. Board members continuing for another 2-year term, Mindy McMahon, Matthew Swartz, Elisa Torstensen, and Karen Walsh. Please stand. Thank you very much. Congratulations. It is now my pleasure and honor to install the 2021 officers of the Board of Directors. I will now ask all of the officers to please stand and again, hold your applause until the end. Treasurer, Peter Short, Dr. Peter Short. Vice President, Dr. Randy Patkin. Vice President, Dr. Adam Foreman. Vice President, Dr. Michael Goldstein. And President, Sarah Weiner. Additionally, immediate past president, Izzy Abrams. You're there with us. We are so grateful for your commitment, your leadership, and your devotion. Lastly, it is my great honor to introduce our incoming president, Sarah Weiner. I have had the pleasure of working with Sarah over the last several years. I have great respect for her, I have great admiration for her, and I look so forward to serving on your board. Please join me in welcoming Sarah. Madam President.
Allow me a few moments to share with you how it is today that I become the president of the Board of Directors of the Jewish Community Center of the North Shore. Back in 2020, I received a call from Marty Schneer, the executive director, asking if I would take on the presidency. Following my dear friend Izzy's term in office, I answered that I would like to think about it. And in the middle of the night, I got up and wrote why I should. The reasons speak for themselves. The board of directors is made up of women and men who are amazing. The early childhood education program is exceptional. The health and wellness department is phenomenal. The staff, beyond great, and our reputation flawless. Who wouldn't want to be president of such an agency? And so I said yes. Along with many of you sitting here, I love the J. We joined soon after moving to Swampscott in 1987. Over the years, I have co-chaired 10 Jewish book months with Joni Finn of blessed memory. For the last 3 years, I chaired the JCC's International Jewish Film Festival. What I hope to bring to the position is a re-energizing of the J after this difficult year and a half. I want to be available to the board of directors, staff, and members. I will always have time to discuss your concerns, ideas, and comments. I am dedicating my presidency to my sister Linda Lerner of blessed memory, who mentored me in so many ways, especially in speaking up and taking on new roles in the community. She always said, "You can do it." And so I will, to the best of my ability. Thank you to Betsy Rooks for her wonderful mentoring, and to my friends for their support. And a special shout out to our sons Jesse and Daniel, and grandsons Eden, Yakutiel, Shiloh, and Neve in Israel. And here today, our son David and daughter-in-law Adina, and our grandchildren Ariel, Elia, and Noam. I am so happy that our dear family members, Susan and Jerry from Ohio, and Betsy and Harvey from Virginia could be here. And most important of all, my husband of almost 51 years, Mark. You are all so special to me, and I thank you. And now, as my first act as president of the JCCNS Board of Directors, it is my distinct honor to introduce someone who really needs no introduction here, because she has been an integral staff member, fitness enthusiast, and cultural program supporter of the JCC for so many years. B. Paul is a legend at the JCC. Her background is in early childhood education. She studied at Salem State University, Harvard University, and Tufts University. B and Ursula Block of blessed memory were the co-founders of the JCC Infant Toddler Program, and B served as director of the preschool for many years. She was a mentor to all and an outstanding staff member. B, would you join me and Izzy for a special presentation for your special birthday?
So, first of all, this is my mentor for the JCC. She is the person who got me here, how many years ago? About 35 years ago. So, I learned everything from B. Paul and a few other people around, whatever. B, we know you celebrated a very special birthday this year. Can I tell them what it is?
I don't care. I'm proud of it.
B celebrated her 90th birthday this year. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So I'm usually the one that they ask, could you go out and find something in the western part of our state at this wonderful Judaic concepts of art, a gift? And I'm like, I know every gift in the store. And then all of a sudden, I saw a mezuzah. And the mezuzah had on it a bee. It is a bee, but the mezuzah is not with us right now. It's going to be with her later this afternoon. My fault. B, it gives us pleasure from the center to be able to honor your very special 90th birthday.
The JCC is thrilled to honor Development Director Stephanie Greenfield and Adult Program Director Sarah Ewing with this year's B. Paul Professional Staff Award. The award was established to reward staff excellence in honor of B. Paul, a dedicated and outstanding employee of the Jewish Community Center of the North Shore. This award is presented annually to a staff member who exemplifies the characteristics demonstrated by B. Paul during her tenure at the JCCNS: dedication, loyalty, going the extra mile, professionalism, team spirit, and service to the community. And now you can call them up.
Okay. Thank you. I'm very touched, and thank you for all your applause and good wishes. I'm very, very happy to be here, and all is well because Jack Stahl is here too. Got my tissue. Well, when I heard that 2 women were going to get my award, I was very happy. Why not? The more the merrier. And the only thing that came to my mind when I heard who it was a little song. Stephanie and Sarah are quite the JCC para. Okay, I'm sorry, but I had to do that. So, Sarah Ewing, wife and mother, and adult program director. And then we have Stephanie Greenfield, wife, mother, the director of development and yoga teacher. And what is the result? We have a dedicated, dynamic duo of working moms. What can 2 professional women accomplish before COVID and during COVID? I'll tell you what. Just to mention a few. A fabulous Jewish film festival. They don't do it alone. we'll give those lay people some credit. An equally fabulous Jewish Book Month, and Torah Hub, Lunch and Learn, Yom Ha'atzmaut, and on and on. And according to Marty, they collaborate and complement each other and do what is necessary to get the job done and strengthen the position of the JCC in the community. And I know they are both highly regarded and valued by the lay people and colleagues whom they work with. It is my pleasure, my extreme pleasure, that I present this award in my name to Sarah Ewing and Stephanie Greenfield. Two women of integrity. Two women of integrity who epitomize the ideal of the award. They're loyal, devoted staff people, outstanding team players who understand the mission of the JCC. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dee.
Thanks, everyone. It's so nice to be back here at the JCC in person with everyone, and it feels great to be recognized for hard work always, especially this difficult year. I want to also thank the marketing team who, was by our side every step of the way for these programs. Of course, the committees that we work with are invaluable, especially the leaders here today. I've got Diane Knopf, Izzy Abrams, Sarah Weiner. I see Helene and Phyllis there in the back, so thank you so much for all your support. And I just feel really proud about what we were able to produce this year. I mean, Marty supported us, and I think we were able to be more flexible and creative this year than ever before, so I want to thank him for that. And also it was just such a pleasure to be able to bring people together virtually in a year that was so tough, and people were scared and bored, and we gave them something to do and really distract them from the terrible realities of what was going on. So thank you so much, and I'll hand it over to Steph.
So just echoing what Sarah said, of course, all of that. It's great to see everybody. It's great to be back here. For me, I'm just really grateful to have landed here, to work with an amazing staff and lay people, staff who I feel lucky to call my friends as well. Coming here becomes more, or less than a job, it becomes more of just an everyday. Golf is the only thing that didn't get mentioned today, and I just want to give a shout out to my right hand, John, who has really made the golf outing successful beyond for the last 5 years since I've been here. So thank you all. Lastly, just a shout out to you, the community, who has supported me in the role of development and the JCC in general. Without you and your dedication and support, really, we wouldn't be here where we are today, and me personally. So thank you to all of you. Oh, and a very happy birthday to my friend Karen Robinson.
I know. Thank you. That's heavy.
Samuel S. Stahl Community Service Award. This award was established in honor of Samuel S. Stahl, who represented the finest in Jewish life and left a legacy of love for his family, service to his community, and a heritage characterized by a deep devotion for all mankind. This prestigious award is presented annually to an individual or couple whose service to the Jewish Community Center of the North Shore and other institutions reflects the highest level of integrity, commitment to community service, and devotion to the ideal of Jewish life. This is what Rhonda and John exemplify in their life. And it's a pleasure working with John on the board. He's amazing. Amanda and Samantha, their lovely daughters, please join me to present the award.
Good morning, everyone. My sister Samantha and I are so proud and excited to be here today to introduce and honor our parents, John and Rhonda Gilberg, with this year's Samuel S. Dahl Community Service Award. This award is presented to individuals or couples whose service to the JCC of the North Shore and other communal institutions reflects the highest level of integrity, commitment to community service, and devotion to the ideals of Jewish life. In our eyes, there is no one more deserving than our parents. Our father's long-term involvement in a variety of local Jewish organizations has cultivated his passion of giving back to the Jewish community. His humble beginnings as a counselor at Camp Simcha soon evolved into participating on committees and volunteering at Epstein Hillel, the formal Temple Israel, Temple Shirat Hayam, and the Anti-Defamation League. He is also currently on the Jewish Community Relations Council. Our father found his true home in the community here at the J. As past president and now executive board member and a frequent presence at the Men's Health Club, the JCC is the place where our dad enjoys not only being a part of the community, but also giving back to it.
Our mother's passion for community service, professional experience as a lawyer and educator, and love for her Jewish identity has guided her in becoming an impactful force in civic and Jewish organizations. She began her professional work as an ADA and supervisor of the Lynn Domestic Violence Unit, leading the community in victim advocation. Through her job in the DA's office, she began to work with the Anti-Defamation League, an organization aimed at fighting anti-Semitism and all forms of hate. For the past 30 years, our mother has been integral in forwarding this mission, planning community events, and serving for the past 8 years as chair of the ADL's North Shore Advisory Committee. Additionally, she enjoys volunteering here at the J, most recently running the Jewish Book Month. As two young women entering the professional world and adulthood, we could not have had a better role model. Beyond this power couple's many accomplishments and community service contributions, our parents have instilled the strongest values of family, love, and Jewish tradition in our lives, just as Samuel S. Dahl did in his. They influence and inspire us to pursue our passions and support the Jewish community. It is amazing to be a part of a 5-generation legacy of Gilbergs at the JCC of the North Shore, and for anyone who knows our family, many, many more generations to come. Mom and Dad, congratulations on this incredible honor. We can only hope to follow in your footsteps. We love you.
Thank you, girls, and we love you too. Good morning, everyone. John and I are honored and humbled to receive the Samuel S. Dahl Community Service Award today. Collectively, we are fiercely committed to the Jewish community and the community at large. Growing up, my parents instilled in me strong Jewish ideals and values, the importance of giving back, to have a strong sense of self, and that you should always stand up for what you know is right and just. When I moved to the North Shore and met John, I knew we had a shared interest to create a home that emphasized Jewish traditions, support Jewish causes, and help make our community a better and safer place for our children to grow up. So I married him. 30 years ago, anti-Semitic incidents similar to many that are happening currently drove me to try and do my part in standing up against all forms of hate. Becoming a member of the Anti-Defamation League and other Jewish organizations, such as the JCC, has given me the unique opportunity to be in a position to help strengthen and empower individuals and institutions to secure justice and fair treatment for all. The JCC in particular is inclusive of not only the Jewish community, but also welcomes the community at large. They recognize the importance of building bridges to unite people, which in turn promotes an environment of respect and tolerance. We should all be proud to be members, and we should all share this pride to entice others to join us. We have to protect and preserve and grow our Jewish community and the community as a whole. We can't be placid and we can't be bystanders. If we don't take matters into our own hands, then who will?
Rhonda and I are proud to have taken up this role in this community. As many here have heard me speak from this podium in the past, my main continuing themes are intertwined: keeping our children Jewish and the preservation of the Jewish people. To me, it all starts right here in Swampscott and Marblehead. It is at this local level where the foundations are instilled in our children to carry forward Jewish customs, traditions, and faith from generation to generation. It is in our Jewish day school, temples, Jewish newspaper, and our Jewish community center. It is of the utmost importance that these agencies get the support from this community to thrive. Financial support and our participation in helping these agencies flourish are the key ingredients. Whether it is $18 or $18,000, every single dollar you can give is needed and appreciated in this community. Whether you can volunteer in a classroom, join a committee of your experience or liking, or become a board member, all are needed and appreciated in this community. We just can't complain about things we don't like or don't want to happen. We have to act by getting involved and affect that change and see it through to its fruition. I am extremely proud that another member of the 5th generation of the Gilbert family at the JCC will be starting this September, as Maxwell Saul Teplow will be attending his first program here. My family is here to stay because these Jewish institutions are here to stay, and it's up to us to keep it that way. Thank you.
I also want to congratulate all the other honorees today. We are in very good company, and all of them have worked so hard and are so dedicated to the JCC. It's really impressive that they've given all their time and commitment to all of us and to all of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks.
And now, we have concluded our program. Thank you all for being here. My husband, Mark, and the one grandchild that's still in the room will make the motzi over a beautiful challah made by Adina.
Let's say it together.
And now, a lovely part of today, a lovely brunch. Just to make things a little bit easier, we want to keep a little bit of social distance. With the first 4 tables, so 1, 2, 3, 4, go to the back and look at the lovely spread that we have out there. And thank you, thank you, thank you all for coming. It's unbelievable to see us all together. You can go in the back.